A little over a year ago, Asus brought us the ROG phone, which was a surprisingly well thought out gaming phone. And apparently the response was so good that Asus decided to release a follow-up model, the ROG Phone 2. And it happens to be the world's first smartphone with a 120Hz AMOLED display. And it happens to be the first to pack the brand new Snapdragon 855 Plus chipset. Let's take a closer look first. From afar, the ROG Phone 2 looks very similar to its predecessor, featuring the same design language front and back. But it's actually a little longer. We're looking at a 6.59-inch Full HD AMOLED panel here, with its refresh rate bumped up from the old 90Hz to a smoother 120Hz. Now, the Razer phones have already achieved this speed, except they were based on LCDs instead of AMOLED. So the ROG Phone 2 here has the clear advantage in terms of contrast, vividness, and HDR. And yes, there's still some bezel at the top and bottom here, but that's intentional. Asus says they need to keep these spaces for a better landscape grip without affecting your gameplay. The ROG Phone 2 is also the first phone to pack the Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 Plus chipset, which has a faster CPU and GPU than the original Snapdragon 855, which should give you a competitive edge when it comes to gaming. And of course, this being a 7nm chip, it should generate less heat than the old 10nm chip in the original ROG phone. You're also getting 12GB of RAM and up to 512GB of super fast UFS 3.0 storage, so the overall performance should be top-notch. Asus has also thrown in a generous 6000 mAh battery, which is quite impressive for a phone of this size. Using the ROG Hypercharge adapter, you can get this phone up to 4000 mAh in just 58 minutes, and that should already last you for the day. However, for some people, there may be a bit of a trade-off here due to the lack of wireless charging. As for photography, the ROG Phone 2 uses the same set of great cameras as the Zenfone 6, so you're getting the same 48-megapixel main camera plus the 13-megapixel ultra-wide camera on the back. But this is not a flip-up module. For selfies and live streams, you'll be using the 24-megapixel front camera here. We should also talk about the gaming-specific features here. The new air triggers have a faster haptic response, and you no longer have to lift your fingers before tapping them. And best of all, you can now add in sliding gestures, which means you can add in more in-game actions. Also notable is that the ROG Phone 2 is apparently the first phone to have 2 vibration motors for the sake of immersiveness. Likewise, the front-facing stereo speakers are apparently louder than before. The original triple mic arrangement has been upgraded to 4 microphones, which means you get better noise cancellation so that your viewers or your teammates can hear you loud and clear. There's also a multi-antenna design to ensure maximum Wi-Fi reception no matter which way you hold the phone. Like before, the most interesting part here are actually the accessories. You may remember the dual-screen dock and the clip-on fan with the original ROG phone. Well, with this version, Asus has had to tweak the design slightly for the sake of the new dimensions. Luckily though, the original mobile desktop dock is still compatible, so existing users can hold on to that when they upgrade their phone. Now, what's new here is this ROG Kunai gamepad, which is essentially a pair of controllers that can be clipped together using this holder, or they can be clipped right onto the phone using a bumper. Best of all, this whole kit can be clipped onto the new dual-screen dock, so that's pretty cool. There's also an updated WiGig display dock should you wish to cast your screen onto a TV, either for sharing or for using the phone as a console. Now, Asus isn't quite ready to share prices just yet, but we do know that the ROG Phone 2 will be launching in China this month, and then it'll be entering the West sometime in September.